Our session today will be on bond valuation. Bond valuation is a continuation of time value of money. We will first discuss the key terms involved in bond valuation. We will also discuss the types of bonds that are there, and we'll begin dealing with the valuation of bonds using the time value formulas. We'll also look at how to handle semi-annual bonds. We'll discuss what is called the bond price, and finally, we'll look at what is called yield to maturity. So to start with, what is a bond? A bond is simply a long-term debt instrument that is issued by a corporation or a government. Ironically, when somebody is issuing a bond, they're in other ways trying to borrow money from you. There's a bond holder and the issuer. So there are terms that you need to understand. There's what is called the maturity value, which is also called the face value, sometimes also known as the par value or the nominal value. This is in fact the stated value of the bond. It is actually how much this bond is being borrowed for by the issuer of the bond. So the one who's issuing the bond is actually the borrower. So the original price of the bond is called the face value. Usually it's $1,000. So if the bond is issued originally at 1,000, then we sell it at 1,200. This becomes a premium bond because it's making a profit. If the bond was initially issued at 1,000 and is selling for 800, it becomes a discount bond. Yield to maturity is simply the rate at which the investor would earn if he bought the bond at its current market price. It is usually held until maturity. So the maturity period is actually the date from which the bond was issued to its maturity date. So the yield to maturity is in fact the discount rate, which equates the discounted value of the bond's future cash flows to its market price. The yield to maturity is simply the discount rate, the rate at which the discounted value of the bond's future cash flows is equated to its current market price. We also have what we call the yield to call. This is simply the return, the rate of return that an investor would earn if he bought a callable bond. So sometimes when you issue a bond and you decide to call it before it matures, we call that yield to call. So it's simply the return that you as an investor would earn if you're able to buy a callable bond at its current market price and held it until it's called. So these terms that we're going to be using time and again are terms like the coupon rate is simply the interest on the coupon bond. So the interest rate on a coupon bond is called the coupon rate. So this is the rate of interest that a bond issuer promises to pay on a bond. It's a percentage on the par value. So if I'm issuing a bond of 1,000 with a coupon interest of 10%, I'm promising to give you 1,000 kwacha, on top of which I'll add 100 kwacha, which is 10%. That is coupon interest. So the percentage itself is called the coupon interest. But the value of this percentage is actually called the coupon payment. It's simply the monetary value of the interest rate. So this 10% is actually 100 kwacha in value of money. The discount rate is actually the rate at which the future cash flow streams from the given asset. The discount rate is simply the rate at which the future cash flows is streamed from the given asset. We have a maturity period. This is simply the time from which the bond was issued to the time it matures. For instance, if we have a 10-year coupon bond, which was issued after 2 years. The maturity period is 10 minus 2, which is 8 years. And the maturity date is actually the date on which the par value bond is supposed to be repaid. The date on which the par value is supposed to be paid, that's called the maturity value. Now, when a bond is issued, sometimes it's issued with provisions, which are called co-provisions. For instance, I'm issuing a bond for 10 years. Then in that bond, I'll decide to say, I'd want to call back the bond. Maybe I have enough money to pay you. Instead of issuing a 10-year bond, I would call it back. So there's what we call co-provision, which actually allows the issuers of the bond to call back the bond before its maturity date. Usually there's a premium for calling a bond, which is called a call premium. Then we also have what is called a call price. A call price is simply the amount of money that the issuer of the bond has to pay to call a callable bond. There is a premium for calling a bond early. So this premium is paid by the issuer. So you say, I'm supposed to issue a bond for 10 years at 10%. So I'm supposed to give you 1,100. The 1,000 par value and the 100, which is the coupon interest. But I decide to call it back to say, I have enough money. So there's a premium that is paid by the issuer of the bond. So this is only applied to callable bond. So when a bond is first becomes callable, on the date, the call price is often said to be equal to the face value plus the year's interest. Now, there are different types of bonds that you need to know. There's what is called a perpetual bond, which is a bond that never matures. It has an infinite life. So this one is given by the value of the bond, is given by I, which is the coupon payment, and KD, which is a market rate. So if we have a bond P, a bond perpetual, which has 1,000 kwacha face value, it provides 8% annual coupon, and the appropriate discount rate is 10%. What is the value of this bond? So firstly, we need to calculate the value of the coupon. The value of the coupon value is simply the percentage of its face value. So there are two percentages that you will be given usually in an exam question. One is the coupon interest, and the other one is the market interest rate or the discount rate. The coupon rate is mainly just meant to calculate the coupon value. So 8% of 1,000 is 80 kwacha. Then we divide this by 0.10, which is 10%. So we first need to calculate the I, which is the coupon value. So 1,000 times 8% is $80 or 80 kwacha. The coupon rate is 10%. So I over KD. So here, this is our 80, then 10% or 0.10, it will give you 800. So this is the value of a bond that never matures. It has a perpetual lifespan. Okay. We also have what is called a coupon paying bond. This coupon paying bond has a finite life. It has a defined lifespan. So the value of the bond is given by the coupon value times the annuity factor. We're discussing annuities in the previous class. And here we have the maturity value, which is the face value times the interest factor. All right. So the value, this is called a coupon bond. The value of the bond is simply what? The coupon value times the present value annuity factor plus the maturity value of the face value. We multiply this one times the present value interest factor. So now listen to me carefully. If you have 1,000 kwacha, we have the interest rate, this is the market rate, which is 10%. And we have the coupon interest, I, which is 8%. And we have the time, which is 5 years. So we need to find the value of this bond. So to find the coupon value, we're just multiplying the what? This face value, or the maturity value, times what? Times coupon rate. This coupon rate is only meant to calculate the coupon value. So 1,000 times 8%, 1,000 times 8%, what do we get? 80. So this 80, that's where the row of this ends. At the coupon value, we're going to put 80. At the maturity value, we're going to put 1,000. Now we need to calculate the interest factor and the annuity factor. We're going to calculate the interest factor and the annuity factor. So how do we calculate the interest factor? So today we labored hard to explain how the interest factor is found. Interest factor is found by simply 1 plus R to the power n. So since this is 10%, we don't use the coupon interest rate, we use the market interest rate. So 10%, 1 plus R, 10% is 0.10. And how many years we have? 5 years. So 1 plus R, so 1 plus 0.1 to the power 5. What are we getting here? Zero point. And are we getting 0 point what? Quickly. Quickly, what are we getting? Yes, Shula. Zanga, what are we getting? Calculate this, please.
I think I got 0.621.
621. So this is the interest factor. So to find the annuity factor, it's 1 minus the present value factor over the interest rate. 1 minus 0.621. The interest rate is 10%, so 0.1. What are we getting here? 1 minus 0.621, everything divided by 0.1. What are we getting?
$3.79.
3.79. 79 what?
That's it.
90, okay. So we substitute this in our figures here. So the interest factor, the annuity factor was 3 point what?
79.
79. Then the interest factor is 0.6 what?
Six to one.
So when you compute this whole equation, what are we getting as our value of the bond?
651.32.
651.32.
Yes.
So this is the value of the bond. So whenever the market rate is more than the coupon rate, we call this the discount bond. Whenever the market rate is more than the coupon rate, we call it a discount bond. In short, the face value of the bond is usually higher than how much the bond is selling. Whenever the market rate is the same as the coupon rate, we call that a par bond. The original price is usually the same as the selling price. Whenever the coupon rate is higher than the discount rate, we get what we call a premium bond. So what we calculated is what? A discount bond. So when our market rate is higher than the coupon rate, this is called what? A discount bond. When the market rate is less than our coupon rate, we call this what? Premium bond. When the market rate or the discount rate is equal to the coupon rate, we call this a par bond. So we've looked at how the discount bond looks like. Now let's see an instance where our coupon interest is 15%. Our market rate is maybe 6%. Can I call you? I'm in class. Our market rate is then we have our time, which is 4 years. Then we also have our maturity value, or the face value is 1,000. Can somebody lead us through what is the formula for the bond? Value of the bond is equal to what? The value of the bond, Melody? Michael, how do we calculate the value of the bond? The coupon interest, the annuity factor, plus the face value, which is a maturity value also, times the interest factor. Okay. So there are two interest rates here, the coupon rate and the market rate. To find our coupon value, we use what we call the coupon rate. So this is 15% times what? Our face value. So here we're going to have 150. That's where the job of the coupon interest works. So here we're going to put 150. Then we go to the present value annuity factor. We start with the interest factor first. At 6% for how many years? 6%, comma, how many years? 4 years. Comma, 4 years. Now the formula for the interest factor, you can use the manual way, which I usually prefer, or can use the table. So let's calculate this. 1 over 6%, 0.06. So to the power 4. So we're looking at 1.06 to the power 4. What are you getting there? You do always have a calculator nearby.
0.972.
All right. 0.972.
Sorry, 792.
792. 0.9,
0.792.
792. Okay. So this is a present value factor. Sometimes you could choose to go into the table here, look for the present value. This is future value. You skip it. You go to present value factor. What percentage was it? It was 6% under 4 years. So you have 0.79. So you go under 6% and under 4. So this is exactly what we found here. So 0.792. To find the present value annuity factor, 6% comma 4. So we have 1 minus the present value factor over the interest rate. Please mute yourself. 0.792 divided by the interest rate, which is 0.06. What are we getting? To find the annuity factor,
3.467.
so 3.467. Again here, you could also use a table. Go and check under the present value annuity, not interest factor, annuity. So this is a future value, and this is the present value annuity, under 6%, under 4. So you have 3.465. 3.465. So 3.467. Okay, we're still within range. So now you go to the value of the bond. The coupon value we found 150. The annuity factor 3 point what? 4, 6 what? 7. Then the 1000 here, the maturity value. Then the interest factor we found 0 point what? Interest factor always starts with 0 point something, 0 0.792. So let's calculate the overall value of the bond. What are we getting?
$1,312.05.
1,312.05. So what kind of a bond is this? Is it a par bond, premium bond, or discount bond?
Premium bond.
Premium bond. Okay. Now, sometimes you may be asked to calculate the value of the bond if it's compounded annually or semi-annually. Always remember that the compoundings adjust the rates. They also adjust the periods of time. The compoundings usually make those adjustments. So now this should make sense. So the face value, a coupon bond has 1,000 and provides 8% annual coupon for 30 years. The appropriate discount rate is 10%. What is the value of this bond? So how did we find the 80 here? It's 8% of the face value, which is 1,000, to get 8. Then using the present value future annuity factor, so 10% under 30. So when you go to your table, 10% is here, then you go under 30. 30 is somewhere here, 9.427. 9.427. So this is where the 9.427 is coming from. Then here we put 1,000, then the interest factor 10% under 30. We go back to present value interest factor, 10% here under 30. We go to 30. This is giving us 0.057. 0.057. This is where the figure is there. So when you compute this, you're going to find 811.16. This is a discount bond. We're selling it below our face value. All right. So same application. Suppose a bond has a par value of 1,000. Interest coupon rate is 10%. Maturity is 10 years. This has a market rate of 15%. So take note that whenever the coupon rate is smaller than the market rate, we're going to have a discount bond. So our coupon values, the 10% is only meant to produce what is called a coupon value, which is the 100. The 15% is meant to calculate the interest factors, the annuity and the interest factor. I've taught you how to read from the tables there. When you calculate there, we call this our value of the bond. At this point, are there any questions? At this point, are there any questions? I hope we're moving smoothly together. I don't expect anyone to be behind, especially when we get the twisted kind of questions. So there are times when compounding is more than once. Remember, when you're compounding annually, how many times are you earning interest? Once. Semi-annually, how many times? Twice. Quarterly, how many times? 4 times. Monthly, 12. So just know that the treatment will always be in this order. So in the instance where we're given a maturity value of 1,000, our market rate 10%, and our coupon rate 8% for how many years? For 5 years. A, find the semi-annual bond. Semi-annual bond. So the semi-annual bond, firstly, we need to make adjustments. Our market rate we'll be using, we divide by 2 because semi-annually means twice. So instead of using 10% for the semi-annual, we're going to be considering 5%. For the coupon interest, instead of using 8%, we'll be using 8 divided by 2, which is what? 4%. Then the time is M times T. So instead of using the 5 years, we multiply times 2, we get the 10 years. Not 10 years, the 10 periods. So what becomes our coupon rate? Our coupon value is 4% of 1,000. What becomes our coupon value? So the value of the bond is what? Coupon value, present value, annuity, the maturity value, A, present value factor. So here we have our value, which is the 4% times 1,000. What are we getting? 40. Here our 1,000 remains. Now we need to calculate the interest factor. So the interest factor will be using the 5% and the 10 years, 10 periods. So I love it when you know how to calculate the manual way. This one will save you. You'll thank me later. So 5% and 10 periods. So quickly, here we're going to have 5% will be 1.05 to the power 10. The ladies give me the interest factor. The gents give me the annuity factor quickly. This is the first class where the guys are outperforming the ladies. Usually it's the other way around. Okay, what are we having? Zero point. % under 10. What are you getting? 0.386. 0.386. And what are we getting for the annuity? So you can confirm this by just going here under 10. Then the periods. What period are we considering? So 5% under 10. 5% under 10. So 5% under 10. It's supposed to be 0.614. 0.614. 0.614. Is that what you found? .614, is that what you found?
Yes.
About the annuity factor, guys, what are we having? Annuity factor. When you go to this table, under 5%, the present value, 5% under what? 10, 7.722. Is that what you found? Is that what you found? 7.7. Confirm. 7722. 7722. Okay. Then we substitute now these figures in our, this is 0. What? 614. And this is 7722. What are we getting as the final answer? What is the final answer we're getting?
Sorry, haven't you swapped the figures?
Actually, yes. So this is supposed to be 7.722, and this is 0.614. So what are we getting? So what are you getting in this case?
$922.88.
What? 9?
922.88.
0.88. Okay, so this is where we end in our first session. So tomorrow we'll continue with our yield to maturity. I'll send you some homework to look at. So compounding and semi-annual. Go and check the pamphlet. The questions there at the end. So we will end here. So tomorrow we'll continue with our yield to maturity, capital gain, and how to apply the rest. Unless there are any questions, please ask now. We end here.